This is my faith build. His name's Judicator Iden, and he's kind of terrible. Terrible, and not that he's a bad character, and just that like he's kind of a one-note character that does one thing and one thing only, which is two-hand lightning infused Lothric Knight Greatsword. I made a faith build in the first place because I saw people doing these spear fights, and I remember when the DLC came out, and I learned a little bit. I fought the Spears of the Church fight and did all that, and I was like, wow, this kind of sucks. Like, how is this fair that this person can't heal at all, and like they're just supposed to be able to beat me with my 15 full Estus? But then I learned a little bit more about it through some other videos people did, like I Am Amish, where they basically pointed out, like, well, the more phantoms that are in the world, the more buffs you get, and if you're a faith build, you can basically heal yourself. So that was quite appealing to me after that. So after that, then I took a page out of the Dark Souls 2 notebook, which was to lightning infuse something that already had innate lightning damage, and really the only weapon I love that has innate lightning damage in this game is the Lothric Knight Greatsword. So I put just enough physical stats so that Iden could, two-hand it, infuse with lightning, dumped everything else into Vigor and Faith. So now what you have is a poise build that does insane amounts of lightning damage, and if there's more phantoms in the world like there are here, I can basically just swing whenever I want. I think at some point in this video, a phantom charges up a fully charged R2, and I swing directly into that and I win that poise trade. Because that's just the power of a spear at a certain point in the fight with that many phantoms. Is really just an absolute blast. And what I love about spear fights is that by the end of like a gank, you've killed every other phantom in the party, and it's just you and the host, and your victory is just kind of inevitable. Like, you still probably have a painting garden, you're just chasing down the host who just really can't swing into you, can't win any trades. It's basically over for them. So sometimes I take Iden out to invade as well, and I invade a few areas that I feel like Iden would want to invade in. I have this dumb headcanon about who Iden is. Like, he's a wannabe dragon slayer, but is kind of born too late to actually kill any dragons. So he hangs out in our Dragon Peak, and is a real big fanboy of Havel. Iden also likes to two-shot people who put all of 5 points into Vigor. In terms of who Iden is as a character, he's kind of like one of those Republican congressmen who's super anti-gay marriage and then gets caught soliciting a male prostitute. Iden's just super deep into that Age of Fire closet. Like, he knows deep down somewhere that it's all built off of a lie and that it's all doomed. But he really wants to believe. He really wants to believe it's the right thing, and it's what Guinevere really would have wanted. So, but he still does cool stuff like this, despite being just in denial about himself. I guarantee you that was entirely skill. Absolutely none of that was luck. Gonna throw out a quick my thanks to Plunging Attack Jesus. Iden also gets invaded a good deal while he's waiting to be summoned as a Spear of the Church, because of course, like a good spear, he has not disturbed the sleep of Filianor, and also because the Judicator giant really kind of scares him a little bit. He's really scared of those deep voices. That guy might be way more manly than him. He might be really masculine, and that that frightens him a little bit. What does not frighten Iden is buff builds. Buff builds in Dark Souls 3 are dumb. You should not use them if you're invading with a buff build. Look at this guy poise cast Lightning Blade. The saddest thing about this is that it took this guy 30 minutes to find me when I was running around the level just looking for him. And it's really just going to be over right now. Like, dead before you even hit the ground. That's why you don't use really short greatswords. Invading with Iden is not all that great, because the best thing about him is the Lothric Knight Ultra Greatsword, and that is kind of niche, and it's kind of hard to chase people down. Anyways, watch me totally whiff on this plunging attack. Just forgot to jump. Good thing I'm wearing the Silk Cat ring. I'm gonna try to get the hell out of there before I get plunged on. And just, this is kind of where the blue and the host are just going to sit for a while. So after what seemed like 30 minutes of just shooting great arrows at them, the blue finally gets tired and comes down to fight me, only to figure out that it's not a great idea to try to backstab me if you're not doing rolling backstabs. Great thing about Iden invasions though is his ability to heal punish. He can't chase people down and kill them before they heal, but he can certainly punish the heal. So the blues are gonna, continue to try to get me with the axe that only does vertical chops and gets me with one good hit, and then backs himself right into the only spot on this little island that he can get poisoned. Upon getting poisoned, he kind of loses the will to fight, I guess. Thinks it would be much safer to go back to the host, which is probably a good idea if this was a normal host. Unfortunately, this host does not give a shit about this blue's plight. He's just gonna sit up there and chuck firebombs in the distance. I'm gonna spam some lightning urns at him to prevent him from going into his inventory and curing the poison, which is not hitting with any, so I just kind of give up, step back, and decide I want to fight him on this branch. I switch to the Silver Cat ring here because I know at some point swinging around a big Ultra Great Sword is going to have me falling off the branch. The host throws down a very helpful hello gesture, or word carving, or whatever it's called. Blue is just like kind of realized that the host isn't going to do anything for him, and is like just trying to dodge around my greatsword for a little while, but it's not going to be super successful for him. He's going to, revert to the meta strategy of panic rolling away, while the host puts down prism stones. So the backstab is nice and all, but what really surprised me here is I do go for a fully charged R2 wake up, which flings me off the ledge just in range of a punching attack. I've never actually seen that happen. Here comes the next blue, who wants to have a nice little honor duel with me. So he gives me a nice bow, which I just take advantage of and get free damage on. That's 2 Estus right there. He's going to heal with not enough space, and that's another 2 Estus right there. The blue runs away because he's incapable of like the concept of anyone not winning an honor duel, in an invasion. In Invasion, Dark Souls 3 in 2019. But I deserve that point down, I guess, for not having duelist rules in an invasion. I'm gonna get him with a pretty sweet stomp launch right around here, which always feels great whenever you catch anyone in that. Because now he's poisoned and he has like no health left, I'm just gonna stay right up on his ass. I'll even eat a couple R1s if I need to, like right there. I do something foolish and whiff an R1, but it doesn't matter because the poison gets him. Give him a round of applause for his lovely point down. And now it's time to go fight the host. Now, while I've been killing all the blues that have been summoned, this host has been, doing a lovely job of decorating this branch here. Has not tried to gank at all, so you know what? Like, I'll give him whatever duel he wants. But this is an invasion, so not really. This host isn't ganking. He's just having fun. He's actually quite a good player, probably a lot better than me. I have no idea how to fight against the mace. Like the only time I really encounter it is at soul level 30 in the forest, and I haven't really made a character for that yet. Like I mentioned in my first video, this channel is very much about me learning to get better at PvP, and this is just a great learning experience for me. This guy is just pretty good with the mace, but I just have a total crisis of consciousness when it comes to what weapons are going to work well against the mace. Honestly, the claymore is working pretty well. Not fantastic. I just I'm expecting to kick everyone's ass. That's kind of what the Lothric Knight Ultra Greatsword does to you, is just raise your expectations ridiculously high. So I just keep swapping weapons this entire time. Now I'm here, I'm going to switch to the Great Leaf, I guess? The Split Leaf? Whatever. Split Leaf Greatsword, you know what I'm talking about. That stupid weapon. And this was just a massive mistake on my part. Because I'm trying to outspace him here, and he just totally gets me with a parry there. Really, really fortunate that just didn't do all of my health. So after being, riposted almost to death, I've kind of realized I'm going to lose this invasion. But, you know, I'm still going to fight it all the way to the end. But, you know, here comes the PvE to the rescue. Switch back over to the Lothar Knight Sword just because it's going to do the most damage. And I know this way guy's about to take a lot of damage. And what happens to him right here is just pretty unfortunate. I've never actually seen it happen, but here we go. He gets hit with both our weapons at the same exact time. This just totally deletes his health. And I absolutely deserve the plunge that I get from the Herald Knight right after it. But at the end of the day, this is like why we invade, for just chaotic, crazy stuff like this. While invasions are fun, Iden's bread and butter is always going to be Spears of the Church fights. You're going to see me do something here that I do every single time with patches in the world, which is hit him with the Undead Hunter Charm, and then activate the spears directly on him. This is because NPC AI is stupid. They have a lot of health, but you can get rid of that health in really dumb ways, because he will never roll out of this like clusterfuck of spears. I get too greedy here and get backstabbed by Lidos. But that's not that much damage, and patches is so low that all I have to do is get back up and swing into him. So now I'm down a fair amount of health. That's fair, but I can section this corner of the arena off and heal. So now I'm back up to full, basically. I have all the buffs from there being 3 phantoms in the world, except now there's only 2 to deal with. So I have like old school Dark Souls 1 poise, I have damage buffs, I have just an insane amount of lightning damage. Here I'm going to go after the phantom, but who's doing the right thing and has probably turned his camera around and is looking at when I'm going to swing. So instead I'm going to probably try to defend this Painting Guardian. They are my only ally, but everyone always goes after them and swings into the Painting Guardian, which benefits any sort of trade I want to make with that. And while this party is being pretty careful about not swinging into me or near me, that is ultimately what dooms them. Again, the Ultra Greatsword is such great heal punish, and the worst thing you can do against an Ultra Greatsword is just run straight away. Panic rolling works a million times better. And as a last, like, final fuck you to this Phantom, they just get shot in the face right before they fade out. Anyways, here's the build. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna tweak Iden a couple more times before I feel like I'm finished with him. I keep changing the fashion, and I want to add this Blessed Lothric Spear to him. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching.